Hey everyone, this is Brian from Vance Hines, and thanks for joining me on another Fuelpak Friday Live. We've got YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, I think LinkedIn as well. So we are here to answer any and all of your FP3 questions, well, general technical questions, because we get asked about a whole slew of topics. And I have a little start here, thanks to you guys on the Instagram story. So we'll go ahead, we'll start answering those questions. And if you guys have anything else, go ahead, ask live, and we'll take care of that and answer those as well. So right off the bat, someone asked, what is the loudest exhaust we have for an 883? So typically the loudest exhaust we're going to have for an 883 is the one that is typically like the most ubiquitous for Sportsters, which is going to be the short shot staggered. Short shot staggered have an aggressive louver core baffle, the standard tone that everyone's kind of looking for, really, really good price point, and they are loud. You can make them even louder by pulling the baffles. Again, I typically don't recommend doing that as you'll lose a lot of bottom end power. Hello, everybody. And it's not necessarily the best thing for performance. So as a performance company, it's not something I'm going to recommend people do. But if you want it louder, even louder, go for it. Also, an 883 can become louder once you bump the displacement. So when you go from an 883 to a 1200, 1250, 1275, that'll make it a little bit louder. And then if you cam it, it'll go even louder than that. So there's a few different degrees of change, but the best bet for what we have on just a bone stock unmodified 883 is going to be the short shots staggered. Moto571 over here on Instagram says, do you guys ship to Cali? We do not. So two things. One, we're not a direct consumer. We don't sell direct. Let me adjust the camera on this because the framing is kind of funky. We sell through distribution. So distributors will not sell or send things to California based upon the California Air Resources Board and the rules therein. Basically, if the product isn't CARB approved, if it doesn't have an executive order, you can't ship it to California. Now, certain things we do have executive orders. For instance, our newest air cleaners that are currently out, those are all EO approved as of recently, actually. So if you wanted to get a VO2 air cleaner, Naked Cage Fighter, X, Blade, Rogue, all that stuff's now available to be bought and sold in California. So there's that. On top of it, we do also offer a CARB Fuelpak FP3, a CARB-approved Fuelpak FP3 with its own executive order number. And so that kind of thing you can also get in California. I will segue into one of the questions I got earlier, again, on the Instagram stories. Someone asked, he was moving to California soon. What's the difference between the California Fuelpak and the 49-state Fuelpak? The 49-state Fuelpak is not CARB approved, so there's a lot more options and variability than things that you can change within the map. What that essentially means is that the CARB map is limited. It is designed and tested and it has performed in a California Air Resources Board independent bag test. So essentially what a bag test is, and I'll kind of walk you through it since we did a lot of emission stuff not too long ago. A bag test is basically you've got a guy on a motorcycle and bags that take samples at specified times during a cycle. The cycle itself, the run itself, is done on a dyno, and it is based upon standard city driving through, say, Los Angeles. So basically you take a route at a particular testing center, do it X number of times to get a standard idea of how far it is, how long it takes you, speed, traffic, stop and go, that kind of thing. And then over time, they build this map out, and you basically follow the trace. So you have a computer that has a little line over it, and there are hashes for upshifts, speed, throttle, and you basically have to follow and drive exactly as this trace, as this line is telling you to drive. And if you can get through the bag test, if you can take those bag samples and pass CARB, then you end up afterwards filing a lot of paperwork, and eventually you get an executive order. We went through that process and did all that stuff with our air cleaners, which is why you can now get an executive order, a California Air Resources Board approved VO2 air cleaner. Sorry, it's a bit long. Joe Sandhoff on Facebook says, I got a spark knock off idle, ran the FP3 4 times. Can you tune it via phone? Yeah, we can actually. If you contact our support staff, they're available Monday through Friday, 8 to 5 Pacific Standard Time. Call us over the phone, have us take a look, and we'll see if we can figure out why you might have a bit of a preignition or knock off idle. Typically, that's going to be due to a lean condition. What ends up happening is if you run AutoTune as many times as you have, if you had any form of intake or exhaust leak, it'll pull that extra fuel out. It'll see that it's lean. typically it'll dump fuel, but sometimes it won't. Sometimes it'll continue to pull full fuel out, and it'll do that consecutively, and you'll end up with a knock. So contact our support staff. You can also email us at help@vancehines.com, and then we can take a look at your map and see where we're at. Instagram, I feel like I've been ignoring you poor people. Let me make sure that I have it out here. Mr. E of USA asked, what's the loudest for a new road glide? That would be a Torker 450. Actually, I've got one here, so I'm going to do a faux pas and run off camera. This is the US Torker 450 for a Milwaukee 8, the Torker 450 machine cut. So normally Torker 450 doesn't have this extra machine look to it. Normally it's all black or it's all chrome. So this is the new machine cut. It comes with a stamped emblem and a new machine surface. Those are running the patent pending LS275 baffle, which we designed specifically for the Milwaukee 8. So this is going to be as much noise as you're going to get out of an M8, while still making really, really good performance numbers. So very, very nice system. Kicking this lift. I hope that doesn't fall over. But yeah, I'd recommend Torker 450s. Loudest thing you're going to get on a new road glide as far as the mufflers are concerned. Pair that with power duals, it gets even louder. And then if you do all that stuff, you'll need to back it up with Fuelpak FP3. But sort of like dovetailing onto another question, we don't have maps available yet for the 2021 Harley Davidson touring or softail models. We do for Sportster, but not for the big twins. And so if you have purchased a new 2021, you're waiting to install exhaust, please be patient. We're working on it. We'll have it as soon as humanly possible, but I don't have an ETA at this time. On top of that, you can do slip-on zonally. So if you want to just get the Torkers, chrome black machine cut, then you can go ahead and just install this on the bike as long as you're running the stock air cleaner, stock headers. Don't worry about mapping it. And then once the maps are available, add the header, add the air cleaner, do what you want to do. All right, let me scroll through here again, see what I can come up with. Let's see, yeah. Keep accidentally typing. Join. Where's my cap today? I don't know. I didn't wear one today. I'm actually bad about it. I didn't even shaved my head in the last couple of days, so I feel a slight bit unkempt. Malik asked, do we have an accredited store in the Philippines? I do have a couple Fuelpak Pro dealers in the Philippines. So if you go to fuelpakpro.vanceandhines.com, go to support, go to dealer locator, you can find, I believe there's a couple shops in the Philippines that are Fuelpak Pro tuners and authorized dealers. So you should be able to get Vance and Hines products through them. The other option is to go to distributors.vanceandhines.com. And then you can go ahead and look at the distributor nearest you, contact them, and they'll put you in touch with a local shop. Billy Stewart says, I have a Harley download. Can the FP3 override that program? Yes. So the FP3 can not only override it, hey, Joanna, and on top of that, it'll override it, but it'll save it as a 0 slot. So when we do a download with an FP3, we take whatever's in the ECU right off the bat, and we copy and we store it as the 0 slot calibration. So if you have a Harley stage 1, 2, 3, 4 download, whatever, then what ends up happening is that tune gets pulled out and saved in the FP3 as a backup of sorts. And so, yes, you can flash over a Harley Davidson tune with the FP3. FP3 on Road Glide Limited, Reinhardt, no cats, strong fuel smell. No cat will be part of that. The other thing is, depending on where you live, it may not necessarily be the proper tune. So if you're running like slimline duals, the fueling characteristics will be very similar to power duals, but maybe not quite 100%. So what you'd want to do is run a couple AutoTune sessions, 2 or 3 shorter sessions, typically like 20 to 30 minutes. And that should get your bike dialed in as far as the volumetric efficiency tables are concerned, get rid of that fuel smell. Also, depending on the year of the road glide, double check it's not a service thing. Make sure that, you know, it's not a dirty air cleaner or old spark plugs. If it hasn't been done in a while, go through it, check it out. Jazzy J says, VH heads on my Busa. Love it. Thank you for the support. Glad you're happy. Let's see. Kisna717 says, hey there, I own an 18 Heritage together with FP3 and tab performance on baffles. When I choose a triple Dynamite option, it doesn't pop on deceleration when I lift the gas. What would I recommend? So if you're trying to make it make the popping sound, then you want to do the opposite of the deceleration pop tool. So the deceleration pop tool is there to remove popping. If you set it to level 3, you're going to add the most amount of fuel to the 0% TPS column in the target AFR table, which means you're basically dumping fuel every time you're off the throttle to remove popping. If you want it to pop, go to that option, turn it off, and then run that way. If it's still not enough popping for you, there's a couple things. One, you can go to the target AFR table, go to that 0% or lowest TPS column, and you can lean it out a little bit. Don't go too crazy because that can obviously cause damage to the motor. But what I would recommend doing is if you want the popping sound, turn off just let pop, flash it into the bike, see how it goes. If you want to remove popping, then the tool's great for that. But it sounds like you've got the opposite going on. Cool. All right, so let's see what I got here from Instagram stories earlier. Any update with the R18 exhaust? No, I don't have any updates with the R18 exhaust at the moment. I can double check and find out, but at the moment, I do not have one. Let's see, 2021 Harley maps. Yes, we are working on those. Please be patient. Give us a bit more time. No ETA at the moment. See, Softail Slim 2021. Harley isn't allowing me to do a phase 1 upgrade. I live in California. So there's a couple of things going on there. One, there are no California Air Resource Board approved maps for 2021 Harley Davidsons that are not stock. I believe in certain cases, stock may not be approved, but I don't know how they got around that. But the long and short is that you can't do anything in California as far as the Harley Davidson is concerned. No mufflers, no header systems, no air cleaners, stage 1, 2, 3, 4 kits, nothing like that, because they don't have maps for it that are legal within the state. So the only thing you can do is basically have a bike that wasn't purchased in California because it's according to the VIN. So if you basically have, and we learned this with our 2021 development, right? So if you buy a California VIN, then you put it in even like their Screaming Eagle tool, there's no maps available for it whatsoever. If you pull a bike from out of state, a 49 state bike, then there's a few maps available, which basically means that the maps that are currently available are not CARB approved. They're just 49 state approved. And so that is sort of the issue you're running into without being able to install any products at the dealership here in California, is because they don't even have maps for slip-on mufflers at this time that are legal per CARB standard. So again, we're here for live questions. If you guys want to throw something out, go for it. Otherwise, I've basically got 2 different questions here left over from stories, and then we'll call it. Somebody asked, does V&H offer exhaust for the 2021 Indian Scout bobbers? We do offer slip-ons for bobbers. I don't know about 2021 fitment. 21 fitment may have changed. I'm not entirely certain. But we'll have to double check and possibly do a roll up. I do know that fitment was good through 18 or 19. I'm not too sure about 2021 for the Scouts regarding the twin slash 3 inches, but it's definitely something. Maybe contact your local dealer, see if they've done it, and go from there. Core comrades, Cali sucks. I don't know, man. I like it here. Clean air is nice. Sir Finstro says, do you manufacture 2-in-1 exhaust systems? Yeah, we do offer a couple. We offer the Pro Pipe, which is a longer 2-in-1 system with a more voluminous muffler. Creates the most power pretty much of any combination that we offer, particularly with a quiet baffle for low end torque, competition for like top end power. So I typically recommend people get the Pro Pipe, but it's kind of long. It's kind of visually heavy. And so for that, we offer 2 shorter stainless steel options. For Milwaukee 8 Softail, we offer the stainless 2-in-1 upsweep, which is a stainless system that will be coming out in black soon. And that is available for the Sportster and the Milwaukee 8. You can get it in brushed stainless only for the Dyna, no black coming to the Dyna. And then there's also the high output 2-in-1, which is a shorter straight, so there's no like up kick. And that's currently available for Milwaukee 8 Softails. Again, in both the stainless and black finish. I know those are on current back order. They should be, my understanding is shipping later this month. So hopefully we can get this out the door, get more people, and you guys continue to enjoy that exhaust. And those are going to be the main 2-in-1 options that we have for various motorcycles. Yes, we still do manufacture 2-1s. Hello from France. Hello, hello. All right, last question here. Unless you guys ask anything else, is what's the difference between an FP3 AutoTune versus Vance Hines maps? So an FP3 AutoTune basically takes your entire target AFR table and it puts into a range that is closed loop, which basically means that it is something that the oxygen sensors can reach. So if you look at something versus like narrow versus wideband sensors, like narrow bands will only read like this much space, whereas widebands can read like that much. And so you can pinpoint where you're at as far as the air fuel ratio is concerned and make a more educated change with the wideband sensor than you can with the narrowband sensor. So when you're doing narrowband stuff across the road or on the road, you'll basically have to flatten out your entire target AFR table to a leaner setting than we would here in the dyno. On top of that, all your adaptive fuel changes are turned off, which we would do here as well. Now, because the narrowband isn't as accurate or can see as much data as a wideband sensor, you can make smaller adjustments than you can with a wideband. On top of that, you can only see so much. So you'll see it's either too rich or too lean. You'll have to sort of do more sessions to step up on that value. So what would be like 2 or 3 AutoTune sessions on the road, I can do in say like 1 in a dyno. That's primarily the big difference. So the standard FP3 maps, the Vance and Hines maps versus an AutoTune are done with wideband. They're done with a Fuelpak Pro. And it basically allows us to set the target AFR table to a richer value, 13.0, 13.1 to 1, as opposed to like a 14.4 or 14.6 to 1. So we can target richer, we can target a range that's going to create more performance, we can be more accurate with it, and do it in a more quick manner, more efficient manner as far as like our tuning is concerned. So our time to do a map in the dyno is pretty short. It's for the most part, any particular configuration is in and out in like an hour. So if we're talking about doing, say, like the Torque 450s, where we offer, a standard baffle and a quiet baffle, but then you're also mapping 107 114s air cooled, 107 114 twin cooled, that is, wow, hard brain fart. That is 1, 2, 8 maps. And then everything can change. So if we have a CVO, we'll map those as well. So you're looking at, a good solid day and a half's worth of tuning. It's not something you can really efficiently do with a narrowband. Narrowbands are great. Standard FP3 AutoTune is great for people who live outside of the US, who live at higher elevations, or who are running like full custom exhaust. That's typically the 3 things that I tend to recommend that people auto-tune for. So other than that, for the most part, a VNH map is going to be more accurate, better off, especially if you live around sea level. And that would be the one that I'd recommend. I say 95% of people probably don't need to run auto-tune, just because of the steps that we take and the lengths we go to here in our dyno to make it as accurate and as great of a map as possible. Does the FP3 void warranty, or which auto tuner do you recommend for the new Road Glide? You are super duper limited if it is a new Road Glide. If it's a 2021 Road Glide, the only thing out there is Screaming Eagle air cleaner or a Screaming Eagle tuner, which is only good for 49 states. So if you're in California, there's no options for you, I'm sorry to say. And at this moment, nobody else offers anything for 2021 as far as the tune's concerned. Now, warranty is going to kind of be up to the discretion of your dealer. Papa Harley says one thing, but at the dealer level, you can kind of learn loopholes to get around a lot of that stuff. I know I did. So I used to do things that would basically allow my customers a bit more breadth than standard, because that's what clever people tend to do to get around that sort of thing. So contact your local dealer, talk to your service managers, see what they're willing to allow and do, and make an educated decision on what you want to do with your bike from there. But as far as like a 2021 bike, right now your options are Screaming Eagle or nothing, and I'm looking to change that here as soon as humanly possible. Peter Jackson 5409. Hey, I put a catch can on my Walkie 8 external air filter. Do you have to adjust the map on my FP3? Nope, don't worry about it. You should be good to go on that one. Basically, the only thing is you'll have no oil going through your induction module, and it's a pretty minuscule amount to begin with going through the induction module and out your exhaust earlier, not to the point where it changes volumetric efficiency tables. So don't worry about it. Run the map you've got. You're good to go. So that's it, guys. We've gone for 20 minutes. We've gone through all the questions. Thanks for joining me on another Fuel Pack Friday, and we'll catch you guys next week. Thanks a lot, everybody.